You were drafted in the 11th round by the 49ers, right? Number 289. That was people. I think people forget how many rounds there were way back then. But you were drafted on to a team that was really stacked with talent. Um, what was that like for you going into your first training camp? And did you have a kind of welcome to the NFL moment?
Well, uh, I was angry when I came to the Niners because which is to my advantage because I felt like I saw some names come off the board as early as round five that I knew in my heart that I'm better than. Uh, we had one that went in the first round that's now the trophy for college centers is named after Dave Remington, and I played with him in the Hula Bowl. So I knew because he came from a real big program and he was, of course, for good reason, hyped up by Nebraska, the machine, the big red machine, compared to someone like myself that's in Hawaii that's separate from the mainland. And in those days we didn't have social media to expose us. But so I came in with a chip on my shoulder, uh, especially when they had the writing. We didn't have social media, so they write about each draft choice. Our first pick during my year was Roger Craig, and then I was the very last pick. And when they wrote the little section about me, they said this is a good chance for the kid from Hawaii to get a free trip to California. So I mean that just fueled my fire because I knew in my heart that I was a better player than where I got picked. I just have to prove it. And I took it one day at a time. I went through some injuries my second year. But the first year you were talking about, that line was stacked because, we had it's a line that won the Super Bowl 2 years before. But I was able to start 3 games my rookie year. And to come as an 11th round draft choice and start 3 games your rookie year, that's unheard of for 11th round draft choice. So when I broke my foot and I rebroke it again, I went to Bill Walsh and I said, hey, I'm going to retire because I've heard horror stories about, hey, man, if you're a free agent or you're a late round draft choice, they're not patient with you. They're just going to cut you, right? But Bill saw something in those 3 starts. And of course, I excelled in special teams. My sons, who were also college offensive linemen, they don't believe me when I tell them I was on the kickoff team. They're like, no, Dad, no, there's no way. I'm like, yes, way. I can find the film. And in those days, they used to have what they called a wedge, which is totally illegal now. So I'm the 200, 75, 80 pound rookie that came down and busted that wedge. Only because I knew as an 11th round draft choice, I needed to do whatever I could to make the team because back then the rosters were 45 and then it
Yeah.
went up to 47. Now it's 53. Plus you have practice squad guys that can develop their game. We didn't have none of that. You either make it or it's, aloha back to Honolulu, type of thing. Um, so that was my approach. And when I give advice to some of our players now with the Niners, I give them the same advice. Just put your head down and go to work. And I did that for 15 years. And when I looked up, I got 4 rings. So it's not a bad idea.